So thanks for the mic. Yeah, hello. Hey, I'm Viki. I'm the co-founder of KodaDot and the technical wizard and implementing all the possible NFT standards across the Polkadot. So when you want to hack something, I'm usually the guy who is like hacking the stuff. And yeah, you can find me on GitHub or Twitter at Viki Val. And my web is like wiki.inc. And basically, question is like, what's KodaDot? It's an open source NFT marketplace on Kusama and Polkadot, and we are multi-chain powered, so already supporting like various parachains and relay chains, namely like Polkadot, Kusama, Basilisk, Moonriver, Astar, and so on. And we are technology agnostic, so what it means, like we have 6 standards on 9 different chains, and basically we have no internal dev team, so we are basically bounty based. So we are bringing dev talent to the Polkadot in general. So we have already like 450 plus stars, 260 forks, and more than 100 developers in the ecosystem. And basic question is like, what are NFTs? You heard it from Greg and from the other guys. Like it's basically pricey pictures on the blockchain for many people. For the others, it's like buys on the blockchain that have sort of different metadata, which comes in the JSON format. And metadata usually has like name, as you can see on the screen, name, description, like image, or you see any other metadata. And usually like marketplaces use OpenSea metadata standards. There were like many other marketplaces who were trying to bring their own standard, but they realized like, okay, this is not going anywhere. We're gonna use OpenSea again. And what are the modern approaches for the NFTs? So first of all, it's like PFPs, what we seen last year during the bull market. Like people are buying these pricey JPEGs to like show their status. Like, okay, I have the monkey for like price of the Lambo. Then there are like DeFi tokens, for example, for LP positions such as Uniswap or Basilisk, that you basically represent your LP position on the Uniswap as an NFT, which you can trade on the different NFT marketplaces. Therefore, we can break utility. So as Sasha said, like we can use can represent some dresses or some fashion with the NFT. So you can have dress, which you can then sell, use, wear, and claim that you are somewhere on the party. But what we are missing, like how people should implement the NFTs. The answer is like to understand the NFT standards, right? And the NFT we already all know is like simple ERC-721 standard on Ethereum, and it was mostly used for like PFPs or some other art. And the best thing was that it's super easy to like build anything on top of that, right? You just need to define like name, symbol for the contract, deploy it on chain, and then like link metadata, like where should we point other marketplaces to show our art. And it was nice. It was easy to do. Many people have done it already like many times, but it's like super ineffective for transactions. So if you decide to make, for example, your own collection and you want to distribute it to your friends, what it would mean, like you pay like high gas fees for transactions. So can we do something with it? Yes. The question is like there is effective like standard on Ethereum called ERC-1155, and it's multi-token standard, so it can hold also like fungible and non-fungible tokens. And the biggest advantage is like we have batch transfers, so you can send as many as possible tokens in one transaction, and it's super effective. And thanks to the effectiveness of this standard, you can use it in DeFi, gaming, or other on-chain assets. But question is, why we are here is like question, are there any Polkadot standards for NFTs? The answer is yes, there are. And why we are like talking like, what's the difference between like Ethereum NFTs and Polkadot? So what we know is like we have the relay chain, and there are many parachains connected to this relay chain. So it's super cool. And thanks to the like security of our relay chain, the parachains can focus on the one thing that are unique, and each like parachain is unique in some different kind of form, right? And connected thanks to the XCMP protocol. So basically what they are doing is like sending DMs to each other. So like, hey, I have this NFT for you, save it to the other user. And it's like effective, simple, and cool. But there is one catch, that because every parachain implements like NFTs in their different form, they have different standards, and it's like hard to make like consensus like on top of each other, like how to show it for user and so on. And because each one parachain has their different implementation, some of them use contracts, some of them use palettes, and it's like, yeah, hard to show. And basically, like most of the parachains nowadays are using the runtime palettes, as Sasha said, for example, for NFTs on state. And basic palette is like plug and play module. You just basically put in the blockchain, like the plant, and that's it, and it's running without like any sort of hard fork. So it's easy to use for the engineers. And like first of the standards we had in Kusama in general was the remark, and it was like similar to NFTs on Bitcoin. So basically it was strings in the blockchain that it was workable, let's say, but it was like really hard to track the consensus and ensure compatibility with other users. So what could happen, like you can make a double buy or double spend, let's say, for users, and it's hard to find the like previous user and say to him like, okay, send the money back, and the user should say like, why should I? And it was nice, simple, and like it was one of the first standards we implemented, and like you see, it worked. You can show it. We can show like picture, metadata, and other things. But apart from that, we wanted to build something like more advanced, right? Because like strings in the blockchains aren't like super cool when we have like state-of-the-art technology, right? So that's why we decided to implement Basilisk. And Basilisk was one of the first chains on the Polkadot which bring NFTs to the Polkadot ecosystem. And it enabled like creators to create like effective and cheap art. And it has like fully featured marketplace where users can make offers to each other. So instead of like user to put NFT on the sale, for example, for $200-300, somebody can make offers like, I want to buy this NFT for like $100. And when the creator accepted the offer, the NFT was transferred to the like person who made the offer. And it's like really good. Why? Because people then can like find the like correct price for their art, right? They don't need to like think like, okay, this art can cost like $200-300, but they can like find that sweet spot, like, yeah, this is the right price for the collection. And one of the also good features of the Basilisk is that they have liquidity mining in the form of NFTs. So that means when you have tokens, which you lock in the Basilisk chain, you can get this really nice NFT called liquidity mining, which you can see on KodaDot. And you basically, anybody can make offers, you can sell it, you can transfer it to someone else without like unlocking the tokens from the LP position, and then like sell or trade tokens. Just trade NFTs, and it's much simpler. And thanks to the Sasha, you know all about NFTs palettes, which came to the state mine, and we successfully integrated in the KodaDot last week. And there is like one good parachain called State Mine, which offers like peer-to-peer swaps, and also many other use cases which were already taught by Sasha, that you can use like drops to distribute NFTs to your fans, which you can try today. We have also support for whitelist, for pre-sale, so you can set the price, you can set the collection, and people like can on chain they can claim NFTs for your specific price, would you say? And also we are like trying to integrate our physical merch shop with the NFTs, so you can, when you buy an NFT, you can, for example, claim like coupon for discount on our like merch shop. So having like claimable physical merch for the NFT holders is one of like big use cases for the state mine palette. And as you can see, like they used it last year for the decoded pop-ups, and I've seen like many people to use them across the Twitter. So it's nice. And apart from like palette, we also support like smart contracts. So we also support like Solidity on Moonbeam and Moonriver, and soon WebAssembly on Astar and Gear. And Solidity, like WebAssembly, when we have Solidity, like WebAssembly is more like technology agnostic, and it can run much faster than the Solidity itself. And marketplace are coming soon, so we have like now read-only view. And the like fundamental question is like, why aren't there some like unified standards? This is like one of the like programmers joke. Like you have 14 standards, and like let's say like let's make a standard that will unify all these 14 standards. Yes, that's a really good idea. But like what's the output? You have 15 standards. So not so standard. And that's where KodaDot comes in. We want to like fit various NFT standards under one roof. So basically, user doesn't care like what technology does it run under the hood, right? If it's palette, if it's smart contract, if it's like, I don't know, some astronomical stars, whatever. And we want to like bring the stable and unified user interface without like too much blockchain lingo, right? Because for people, there's a huge difference between like connect wallet and log in. And we want to try like get closer to the people that wallet, it's for example like foreign, it's money and it's something. Whereas like connect is like, okay, I want to log into your platform. So there is like a huge difference between these two words, which can make like onboarding much easier for people. And that's where we want to like come in, make it easy, fun, and seamless, like to mint on the KodaDot. And how is it possible? Like what we are doing, how can we make that like seamless? When we want to deliver like the best user experience, we are indexing the blockchain events to the database. We are using currently Subsquid, which is like state of the art for the indexing of the events on the blockchain. And blockchain indexer, like we replicate almost the same database per the blockchain, and therefore like 80% of the UI can stay the same. So therefore we like then tweaking per each chain like different functionality. And thanks to the like URL prefix we are using, we know like which functionality does each NFT offer. So for example, for basic NFTs, we have offers. For example, for Remark 2.0, we have nesting. And for state mine, we will have swaps. And we know it thanks to the prefix. But how to get content to the platform? That's like the most crucial question we have. It's like when people are minting on the platform, it's easy. But after like 10 minutes, you start to be bored because you need to upload like image, you need to put name, you put description, then click mint, submit the transaction, you wait a couple of minutes, boom, you have NFT. It's simple. But like when you want to mint like thousands of NFTs per like one big collection, it starts to be like really time consuming and it's not fun anymore, right? So that's why we like had the idea, like let's make the process more seamless. And that's why we have like drag and drop minting UI. And we want to like make this process like super streamlined by like you drag and drop the metadata files, and you see like image, you see the name, you see the description. You can set price right away. Then click like one transaction, and then just go chill, drink coffee, and enjoy life. And for example, when you want to make your collection like super unique, we are trying to like make our UI as best as possible. And we are like using the neo-brutalism style, which is like nice, it's cool, it's sharp, it's bold, thanks to our designer. But some people are like, okay, we want to do something else. We want that like we have different colors. We want fireworks. We want something else. That's why we are making like this storefront, and you can make like your own Shopify-like experience on the UI. And it's ultra fast thanks to the state-of-the-art technology called the Dino and KodaDot API, which we are building. And it's super easy to customize. So you can change colors. You can change everything which you want. And actually we are also trying to leverage the AI, but we found out that the making prompts for the users is super hard. It's like you have one field where you can put anything, but it's basically super hard to make the prompt for yourself. And we're trying to leverage this generative model, such as DALL-E, Midjourney, or Stable Diffusion, to help you with the creation of the images. So therefore, we had the waifu minter, which can make these cute anime waifus. And also, we are trying to leverage large language models such as ChatGPT or LLama to generate the creative text. It's fun also for you to make the name and description for first 20 NFTs, but after that, it's getting harder and harder and harder. And since you can have personas in the ChatGPT, you can say like, as a super cool creative artist, I want to create description for this cool anime waifu series, and can come up with like much better description than you could ever make by yourself. And that's why we use like waifu minter as our use case in KodaDot to like test various things. And like one of the last things which I want to share is like what we found out like before, like between the custodial versus custodial experience, and we are trying to like test like what's better for users, to try waifu minter with the email or try to force users to log into our app. And in the first iteration, we tried like experience via email, and it's like super easy to use. So people were like, wow, they minted their anime waifu, they don't need to install anything, and they can get waifu super easy. But there are some drawbacks, such as that many people didn't want to share their email. Like, no, that's my privacy. I don't want to like give you my email because reasons. And like onboarding is postponed because usually when you come from the conference, you are super tired. You just want to sleep. Then you woke up in 2-3 days and like forget about that you minted any waifu. So many people never come to the point to claim it actually. Where the second iteration was like we were trying to onboard people via the Nova wallet, which is like mobile first experience. And like many amazing people in KodaDot can help you with that, like to find out where to click the anime waifu. You have direct access to the platform. Privacy is respected, so you don't need to share emails with us. You just have it directly in your mobile phone, which is like super cool. And like where we are heading is like async no-code first UIs. So where we see that the future is no-code. So basically you will have like UIs such as Lego, and you don't need to like wait for the user interface to come better. You can like create it by yourself and share with your friends. So what it would mean is like you take a Lego that I want to upload all these files from my Google Drive. Then I want to like pin it on the IPFS. Then I want to mint it on like, let's say StateMine and like NFT palette. And then I want to airdrop this to these 100 addresses. And it can run async. We just ask you to make some couple of signature when you need it. And you don't need to wait for any like transactions to complete. We'll notify you like when it's done. And it's simple. And yeah, you have more time to create the real art. And last thing, where we see the future of NFTs is like about account abstractions. So what it means, like new ERC is coming. It's called 6551, and all like the whole thesis is what if NFTs are actually accounts? So basically, you don't represent NFT as something like unique on the chain, but you abstract it as an account. So basically, each NFT is account. So for example, NFT can hold like basket of various tokens. So you can imagine that as a portfolio, for example, of NFTs. Or I found this nice example on the Twitter that basically you can hold this gun on chain as an NFT account, and it holds like suspensor, it can hold laser, it can hold ammunition, and you can change these various properties. So it's like cool for on-chain gaming. that you can like basically create your weapon, and then when you are satisfied, you can sell it on the marketplace, for example, as of KodaDot. And we are doing R&D for that on like Polkadot NFT palettes, so we would be happy to bring that over the ecosystem. And yeah, so we ran out of time, and what are your questions? One more time?
When the pictures on NFTs will reach the stock photos, so everyone could use the NFT pictures on their websites, including 2.0 websites.
Good question. So basically, you can set up your storefront right away. We have like everything what we do in KodaDot is like open source. So every code such as storefront API is like open source. We also done like a workshop with Sasha. How to make it, and it's basically when you want to like, we use Basilisk as a state of the art, but currently since we have like NFT spots on StateMine, we would love to leverage that. So basically it's a matter of like changing a few lines of code, and you can run your own like storefront with NFTs, StateMine NFTs right away.
If you mint NFTs on KodaDot, what is the NFT standard you are actually minting these NFTs? Because you said you have all of the different ones. So you choose?
Yeah, you basically choose the chain which you want to use. You need to have tokens to pay for the fees, and then it's basically shown on the KodaDot. Yes. Are you guys planning on having like something? Yeah, basically we are building with all the amazing people in KodaDot. It's called Hello, and it's a website where we are like sharing sort of various tutorials for people to mint, to create. And one of the sections is actually like fees. What's the fees to create collection on Basilisk? What are the fees to like create collection on StateMine? And various like fees, like what you need to pay. But we plan to like bring that back to the UI, so you know it right away in dollars, for example.
And assuming you've already learned about this already, what would you say like are the big differences between fees on different chains, including EVM chains?
Good question. So the highest fees are basically currently on StateMint, which should be reduced by the like governance voting. So currently it's like $50, I think, per collection. And otherwise for StateMint is a matter of cents. And in general, like in Polkadot ecosystem, it's like matter of couple of cents, max like $1 or so. Plus you can like support KodaDot for like storing the IPFS content for you and holding that and so on, because sometimes it also happens that you create a collection, put the data on the IPFS, but IPFS isn't the storage layer, so it can like go away eventually. And that's what, for example, what happened with the StateMint NFTs, that they disappeared. So I can't access them anymore. It's a valid hash, but I can't access them. Okay, thank you.